I am making an Oreo bark with Hershey's candy bars. Okay, so I got my Oreo one here, and then my regular one here. I don't know if this is gonna be enough white, guys. I don't know. Okay, so the question is, okay, let's do it this way. We'll do 2 white and 1 chocolate. I'm gonna stick this in the oven and let it melt. And then we're gonna put our Oreos in there. This video is brought to you by our Dining on a Dime cookbook. We have quick and easy recipes your family will love to help you get in and out of the kitchen fast. Please visit us at livingonadime.com. It's 25% off now. All right, here is my softened chocolate, melted chocolate. Ooh. All right, here we go. Let's see what's gonna happen. Is it gonna mix? Ooh, it's gonna mix. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these dumb sprinkles. Man, I don't like them. Okay, I'm gonna pour all these in here, except the gingerbread, because I'm using those for a different one. Okay, we got them all mixed now. So I'm going to sprinkle those around. And I'm gonna take my Oreos and I'm gonna break them into pieces. Get them smushed in there. Oops. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure all these are pressed in. Okay, then we're going to stick this in the freezer, let it set it up, and then we'll come back and crack it. All right, I've got my Oreo. Hoo hoo hoo. That looks really good. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna try a bite. All right, that is great with the Oreo bark. 10 out of 10. Yum. Okay, today I'm trying a cherry bark. I don't know. I've never done this before. You guys are watching something new. Never seen anybody do this before. This is just popped into Tara's brain. Now, let's see. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I am setting this on my tray, and I am going to see if I can just melt this in the oven just like this without dirtying a bowl. I don't know, we'll see. Do you think it'll work? That is the question. Woo! Now let's see. Oh, we got all, oh my goodness, that worked beautifully. Now you don't even have to dirty a bowl to melt your chocolate. Now, I don't know if you want to call this no bake or not. I'm not technically baking, I'm technically melting the chocolate on here. So, depending on how much of a laxative you need, you can call it whatever you want. Okay, so I have my cherries here. Now, I was going to cut these up, but I think I'm going to leave them whole and just put them all over randomly, but all over. Now, if you wanted to make this just a leftover, you know, candy with all your leftovers, you could just add some green or just the nuts, whatever you want. But I am putting the cherries, and I got some leftover pistachios here. And I'm going to sprinkle them all over. And I like how the pistachio crumbs look on there. That's pretty cool. Okay. And one for the cook. Okay, now I'm gonna add the rest of my cherries. All right, I'm gonna let this set up. Make sure you push everything in to make sure it's all in there, and then we'll come back and crack it. Oh, yum, that looks delicious. This looks pretty darn tootin' cool. So I live in Wyoming, so I had it outside cooling. Ooh. Isn't that lovely? Oh, that's lovely. Okay, I like it. Okay, here we go. I wonder if I should cut it. Maybe I should cut it. Okay, I'm gonna try this little piece. Oh, really good. I love white chocolate. So to store this, I just put it in my zip top bag. Just like so. And you can either freeze it or just let it sit on the counter till Christmas. This is a great recipe to make ahead to save you time at Christmas. German chocolate fudge. Chocolate chips, 1 package. And I'm just gonna dump this whole thing in and see how this goes. Pecans on top. And a small amount of coconut. We're gonna let this set up and then we're going to cut it. Oh, that looks really good. Now I already used my Nutella for another recipe. I'm just making sure I have enough to get my 2 cups of Nutella. Okay, now while I get the rest of the Nutella out, I'm gonna soften my butter. Then I'm going to take my softened butter and put it in my Nutella. I'm going to add my powdered sugar and my vanilla and mix that all up really well until it's smooth. If you want some easy 2-ingredient fudge recipes, you can find them in our Dining on a Dime Volume 2 on sale right now in the description below. Then I line my pan with parchment paper and spray with oil just so my fudge comes out easier. Put my first layer of fudge in, get it all spread out nice and smooth. Then I take chocolate chips and butter and melt them in the microwave. All right, then we're gonna take our fudge and we're gonna spread it on top. Oh, yum. Or I mean our chocolate chips, and spread it on top of our fudge. I was getting all into the yum because this looks so delicious. Oh my goodness. All right. my Nutella fudge. Yum. Ooh, that cuts smooth. Okay, nobody's home, so I'm gonna taste test it. Ooh, that looks really good. Mmm. Oh my goodness. I love Nutella. That is so darn tootin' good, it's not even funny. I am making a ruby chocolate fudge. Now, a viewer sent me this and I've never used it before, but it has a sort of fruity, like fruity taste. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It just kind of has, it says intense fruitness, fresh sour notes. It has a very interesting but good taste. So we're gonna see how this goes. Now, I am making the 2-ingredient fudge from my Dining on a Dime cookbook volume 2. And I am making a smaller batch than normal. So instead of 3 cups of chips, I'm only using 2 because I had this sweetened condensed milk left over from another recipe that I just wanted to get used up. But just follow the recipe in my cookbook. It's 3 cups to 1 of the sweetened condensed milk. What do you think about the ruby chocolate?
It's pretty good.
It's kind of different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna put this in the microwave and let it melt. Is it what?
Is it also the $100 chocolate?
Well, this is like $50, yeah.
Oh, I see.
It's super expensive.
Yeah.
So, thank you, Laura, for sending this to me. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to try this. So, Laura, my viewer, sent me all these cool, fancy chips and chocolates to try, and I just greatly appreciate her doing that because I didn't even know these things existed. All right, we're gonna get this melted. I already stirred it once, microwaved it again. Looks like it's melting actually pretty well. Putting a little bit of water to keep my parchment paper from coming up. Okay. Let the rest of the heat finish melting it. And then going to add some almonds in here. Since it's got a fruity taste, I thought almonds would be a pretty good complement. Ooh, am I getting all chef-ified now, Jack? Do I sound professional?
I think so.
By using professional words like compliment. Okay, pour this in. Not going to waste one little titch of this one, even for the comments. Okay. Oh my goodness. It smells really good. Okay, going to let this set up, and then we will cut our fudge and see what happens. Actually, I think I'm going to put a few more almonds on top, just for decoration. Okay, now we're gonna put this in the fridge and see what happens. Here's my ruby chocolate. Very interesting, never tried this kind of chocolate before. Well, it sure is pretty. All right, let's see what we think here. Don't know if anybody in my family likes almonds. Oh, I think Mike does. Okay, Jack or Mike, do either of you want to try fudge?
Yep.
With $50 a bag chocolate?
I don't think I'm worthy.
You don't think you're worthy of $50 a bag chocolate? My goodness. I'm terrified to use it. This is called Ruby Chocolate.
Oh, that's why it's kind of pinkish.
Yes.
I'm afraid to try it at that price. I don't know.
I know. I was afraid to use it.
Mmm.
What's it taste? Does it taste like?
It's good. Well, it took me a bit because there's a lot of stuff going on here. The almonds and little slices of almonds and the crunch and all that.
Wow. It's really darn tootin' good.
That's darn tootin' good.
There's my piece right there.
Yum.
That's good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Yum. Super fancy truffles. A viewer sent me this blonde chocolate, and as you can see, I have helped myself to some, and this is the most delicious chocolate I have ever eaten. I don't like chocolate as much as I like caramel, and this is white chocolate that has a little bit of a caramel taste to it. So I'm making some truffles. Now I've got my butter here, and I'm gonna add my blonde chocolate. That's way too much, don't need that much. And then my whipping cream. Now, this recipe is based off of my truffle recipe in my Dining on a Dime, volume 1. I left the sugar out, and I'm doing it on the microwave instead of the stovetop, okay? All right, going to put this in the microwave and let it melt. All right. Actually, I had this butter left over, and I think it was slightly more than 2 tablespoons, so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and add the rest of the chocolate in there, just so my truffles aren't too thin. Oh my goodness, I can't imagine how delectable these are gonna be. Okay, gonna melt this. Oh, the one that sent me these adorable fall nails, aren't those cute? I just appreciate you thinking of me. Thank you so much. All right, got this melted. Oh, yum. All right, now I'm gonna take and put it in my pan. Okay, I'm gonna stick this in the refrigerator and let it set up, and then we're gonna make our truffles. All right, this did not turn out like I had anticipated. My butter separated, and it's not very thick. So I took a little snitch, and it's very tasty. But I think this chocolate must be made differently because it's really super hard. I can't really get a truffle. So I looked up the recipe for making truffles with this specific chocolate, and it said to use more cream than I normally do. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a little bit more cream here. There we go. And I'm gonna put this on top of a pan of boiling water and let it remelt. And then we're gonna let it reset up again and see if we can get some truffles. Okay, there's my boiling water. And I'm just gonna set the whole pan on there. So we'll see if this works. It tastes really good. So it is starting to melt. See if we can get it all warmed up and mixed in together. Wonder if it's because my butter had been previously melted. I really do not want to waste this chocolate, and I don't think it'll go to waste. I mean, even if it doesn't turn out like my truffles like I wanted to, it's still not going to go to waste because, oh my goodness, it is so darn tootin' tasty. Okay, I'm going to turn off the heat now so it doesn't get too hot. All right, just keep stirring and stirring until it comes together. It's like a big caramel. And then I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator and let it cool down and see. All right, before I roll my truffles, I've got my pecans here, and I am going to break them up a little bit more. All right, so now I'm gonna pour my nuts in a bowl. Okay, my little scoop is in the dishwasher, but I was testing to see if they would roll, and look at that. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna roll these in nuts. Now, I actually probably should have put on plastic gloves just because it seems like they're smoother, but this seems to be going okay. Now you could roll these in almonds or some cocoa powder, or coconut would be really yummy. Oh my goodness, I can't imagine how delicious these are. I did get a couple more out of this. I made them actually twice the size that I should have, but I love caramel. Okay. Oh my goodness. That is absolutely the smoothest chocolate I have ever eaten in my entire life. That is so delicious. Thank you so much, Laura. I am making turtle pecan fudge. I've got my chocolate chips here and my sweetened condensed milk. Now, here's a little tip in case you guys didn't know. Wash your can opener every couple of times, or every time if it gets really gross, because this can build up and then it won't cut as well and it'll get gross. All right, so I'm pouring in my sweetened condensed milk, and we are going to microwave this until it is all melted. This recipe is based off of my 2-ingredient fudge recipe in my Dining on a Dime cookbook, volume 2, on page 2 something. Where'd it go? Page 315. Okay. Just gonna stir until everything gets all melted. Oh man, that smells good. Okay, so I've got my leftover pecan macarons here from my turtles. So I'm going to dump these into my fudge. Then I'm also going to put a few caramels. And we're gonna stir that all together. Oh, I love turtles. Okay, now I keep saying I don't love chocolate, but I do love turtles. And I have to say my favorite are macadamia, but this is probably right up there next in line. All right, so I got my pan. Okay, and then I'm going to cut my paper. Put it in my little pan here. I love this little pan. I got this at the thrift store and I absolutely love it. I think it's 7 inches. There's one on Amazon. I'll look, see if I can find it. Okay. Then I'm going to just put this luscious fudge right in here. And all right, now we're gonna let this set up in the refrigerator. We're gonna come back and cut it, and I'm gonna show you how to store it so that you can make this several weeks ahead of Christmas and freeze this Christmas candy. Okay, I've got my fudge here. I'm just going to loosen the edges. Looks like it's actually pretty loose. There we go. All right. That's my wonderful son putting up his dishes in the dishwasher. Yes, ladies, it does happen. They grow up. Huh? Occasionally it happens.
It's a once-a-month adventure.
I actually have to say, all my adult kids, they're very good about cleaning up. Okay, now, well, and even my not adult kids are good about cleaning up too.
You're not an adult kid.
My not adult kid. All right, so getting this cut into pieces. Now, I forgot to show you, shoot. But what I would do is if I was going to freeze this is just wrap the entire thing in plastic wrap and then slide it into your freezer bag. So I would just wrap the whole thing and slide in the freezer bag. Now, my mom individually wraps each piece of fudge. I do not have the patience for that at all. What I would do is I would just take my Ready Seal and I would just put it on here, flip it. Maybe. Okay, maybe that wasn't a great idea. Sometimes my brilliant ideas aren't so brilliant. Here's how I do it. Just do this, and this, and this, and fold up, and fold up. And then take my freezer bag and just slide it in, just like that. Okay, throw it in the freezer and you're ready for Christmas. Oh, yum. I am making a coconut cream fudge. Oh my goodness, I saw this recipe and had to try it. Got my chips here. All right, I'm going to melt my chocolate chips in the microwave. All right, stir in between each 30-second increment so your chips don't burn. All right, get our chocolate chips, or get our white chips all melted. If I said chocolate before, I meant white. So used to saying chocolate. Ooh, yum. Yum, yum. Okay, now we're gonna add our cream cheese, or the coconut cream part. This is the cream in the coconut cream. And my vanilla. And a tinge of salt. Okay, so now, and if you want, you could do coconut extract. I don't know if I happen to have any. Cherry, almond, lemon, no coconut. So we're gonna do without that. Then what I'm gonna do is beat up all this first. All right, that is nice and smooth. Then I've got my sweetened coconut here. And I'm going to add my coconut in. And you can beat it if you want, but I don't think you need to. Just stir it in. Get everything off the edges. All that yummy goodness. Oh my goodness. Coconut cream is at the top of my list for favorite candies. Yum. Got my pan and my parchment paper. When you cut it in half like this, you get 200 sheets instead of 100 out of your package. Okay, then, oops, my parchment slid. Whoa, my parchment's really, oh my, it's all over the place. Whoa. Slow down, girl, slow down. Okay. There. Okay, now we're gonna get this all spread in. Now, gloves might make this go in easier, but I don't feel like putting them on right now, which I probably should. Oh my goodness, I can just smell the coconut cream. Yum. Okay, then I'm going to take a little bit of coconut and spread it on top. Just like so. Then what I'm going to do is, as I'm pushing the coconut into the top, I'm just going to spread it into my pan a little bit better. There we go. Just a little bit more coconut in the center here. There we go. Okay, we're going to set this in the refrigerator. Let it get all set up. Oh, yum. Coconut cream fudge. I absolutely love coconut cream Easter eggs, and I'm really hoping this will taste like that as I'm making candies. I realize I just like candy. I don't like ding dongs and I don't like ho-hos, but I like candy. Okay, this little corner is too small, I'm sure, to put for the plate. Oh my goodness, yet another winner. Oh my goodness, that is just too darn too good. Oh, yum.